bueno que ya mi casi me sienta feliz ese grupo de por favor.
Yo no tengo nada en efectivo. Just had somebody approach the table and ask me for money. Hola Spain lovers, hola Spanish food lovers, and buenos dias, or as they say in this part of Spain, bueno dia, because I'm in the south of the country, in the province of Seville, in a town called Alcalá de Guadaira, and it's breakfast time, 8:30 in the morning. I'm going to go into the coffee shop that I have behind me here called Café Marbella and try some of the typical breakfasts in this part of Spain, the typical Andalusian breakfast, if you like, which apparently are quite filling. So I'm hungry. I'm looking forward to the breakfast experience today. So without further ado, let's go and order the food, sit down and get stuck into it, shall we? Vamos! So I'm looking forward to trying a traditional breakfast here in the south of Spain, in Seville, the province of Seville to be exact. I've gone for what I think are two traditional breakfasts. I've gone for a mollete with the typical Spanish ham and also with tomato. And the second thing I've ordered is what's known as carne mecha, which is typical down here in the south of the country. Slow cooked meat, I think, which is broken up on top of the bread, also with some oil and some tomato, I believe, but we'll see. And also a cup of coffee. Now, I'm not sure what the quality of coffee is like in this part of Spain. Everybody drinks it, of course, but is it going to be a good quality cup of coffee? That's the question. I've just gone for the traditional white coffee, café con leche, so not expecting much, but it's going to be interesting to see if it's a decent cup of coffee. That is for sure. As you can probably tell, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. It's 8:30 in the morning. It's around 17 degrees Celsius, I think. I'll just check that. And we might be getting up today to a top of around, let me see. Well, no, it's 14 degrees Celsius, and we're getting up to a top today of around 30 degrees Celsius, the 19th of April. So the weather's good, no complaints. Let's wait for the breakfast to come out.
Yo te traigo la otra tochadita.
Muy bien. Viene ya con aceite, ¿verdad?
Sí, ¿quieres más?
Sí, por favor.
Buenos días.
Muchas gracias. Now, as you can see, breakfast is on the table. I'm not sure if the camera's picking up all of the things that I've got, but I went for two breakfasts. Now, I wouldn't normally eat this much at this time in the morning, but because it's a video, I want to show you the different types of food that you can have for breakfast down here. Now, when you go into a coffee shop, you're not going to get cereal. You're not going to get anything like that. This is hardcore Spanish breakfast, Andalusian style, bread, ham, tomato, and oil, which is on the table over there. And interestingly enough, I'll show you in just a moment when I cut through this, if I can, is that the oil is still served in the traditional way, which is not happening anymore where I come from, or where I live, sorry, in the center. So you can see here that the oil is still in the traditional way, and look at the color of the oil as well. Let's put some more on the bread here, a little bit more on top, because there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's not unhealthy. Now let's try this bread. That's nice. Now, this is what's known as the carne mecha, I think. So I was expecting something different, but this looks to me like pork fillets. It's very, very tender. Does it break off easily? Not really. Now, I'm going to put this on top. I went for a different type of bread here. I went for a whole grain bread with this one, as you can see. And basically, you've got a roll or a sandwich with pork, with tomato, with olive oil. Look at the cross section there. Let's bite into it and see if it's any good. So the pork, very tender. You can taste the olive oil, the tomato as well. Excellent quality bread. and lots of nice flavours going on in this sandwich. Well, this is going to be the big test, the quality of the coffee. Served in a glass, which is something I don't normally like, I'm going to be honest. And you can see the colour. So we've got a very dark coffee, a very dark white coffee. The smell, not too bad. Let's see it. It's drinkable. It's drinkable, that's about it. But this is good. The bread's interesting. This type of bread here they call semillas. Semilla in English means seed. And basically it's bread with lots of seeds. And the meat, incredibly tender. Now, have a bit more coffee. That's just your stock standard coffee here in Spain. Nothing special. The only issue that I have when coffee is served in a glass, that if it's hot, you can't pick the glass up basically. So I've ordered leche templada. I'll put that on the screen. Leche templada, which means warm milk. You don't want it too hot because, as I said, you wouldn't be able to pick that up. You can ask for it in a cup or a mug if you like, but here in the south, very, very common to get your coffee served in a glass. Now, I'm going to put this one over here if I can and move on to the star of the show, which is this one here. An Iberian ham sandwich with tomato and also with this fantastic olive oil. And I'm not exaggerating about the colour, you can see there for yourself. Amazing. Now, if this tastes as good as it looks, I'm in for an absolute treat. I'm just going to open it up so you can see what we've got going on inside. Look at the colour of the oil on the bread. The Iberian ham, good quality, tomato underneath there as well. Let's put it back together. And another typical traditional bread here in the south of Spain, mollete, which comes from the Malaga province, I think. But here, also very, very common. And it's interesting to see that when you go inside, there'll be 4 or 5 different types of bread that you can order. And I've gone for 2 of the 4 or 5 different types. Look at the cross section, that Iberian ham coming out of that. Let's bite in. That's excellent. Good quality ham, good quality oil, tomato bread, that's it. It's tasty, it's nice. And this is the standout breakfast in this part of the country, that's for sure. The bread soaked up all of the oil. The tomato makes it soft also.
Bueno, que ya me invitaste, me siento apetecido por lo que falta.
Yo no tengo nada en efectivo. Just had somebody approach the table and ask me for money, which at 8:30 in the morning, not something that would usually happen, but maybe it's a common thing here, I don't know. Let's go for some more of this coffee to wash it down. And let's dig into the second half of this one here, with the ham coming out. Let's try some of this ham on its own. Good quality ham. And this certainly is a hearty breakfast, that is for sure. And they haven't skimped on the ingredients either. There's a good quantity of ham in there. There's a good quantity of oil that's been put on there. So that's a pro. There wasn't a price list, so I might be in for a shock when I pay for this. We'll see. Last mouthful. Finish the coffee. I'll ask for the bill and give my final thoughts on my breakfast experience today in Alcalá de Guadaira, Seville, Spain. Stay tuned. All right, the bill's arrived. The bill has been paid. Not really a bill, just a piece of paper with some writing on it, the numbers there, because the till wasn't working apparently, but it doesn't matter. So, €4.60 for the ham, tomato and olive oil mollete. €4.60. Good value for money or not? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section. The other thing that I had, tostada mecha, plus extra de tomate, €3.70. Total price, €8.30. The coffee must have been included in one of those breakfast specials that I had. So $4.60, $3.70, €8.30. Those two breakfasts that I had. Final thoughts. Well, the one with the ham, you saw how much I enjoyed that. The bread was soft. The oil had been absorbed into the bread with the tomato, the Iberian ham, an absolute taste sensation, if you like that type of thing, of course. The first thing that I ate, which was the tostada de mecha with the seeded bread here, was also tasty, and the carne mecha was tender, and it was also quite tasty. Wasn't my favorite, but I would eat that again, no doubt about that. The coffee, stock standard, nothing to write home about. If you don't go to a place that's serving specialty coffee here in Spain, this is what you get. It's drinkable, but it's not a pleasant coffee sensation, I don't think. But again, just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I drank it, so it is drinkable. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Have you tried the authentic Spanish breakfast here in the south of Spain with the ham, with the tomato, with the oil? Let me know. And have you also tried this carne mecha, very typical in this part of the country too? Let me know in the comment section below also. And is this something that you would eat for breakfast? I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but every now and again, why not? Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss a video when I publish it. Until the next one, hasta luego from the south of Spain, the province of Seville, Alcalá de Guadaira, and Café Marbella. Bye-bye.